Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Alex, and today is officially Wednesday. So I'm going to give y'all another YouTube video for my fans, my loyal subscribers. This one's going to be called Sex Game Hot, Sexy, Bad Girls of Video Games for Women and for Men. Now, this is an idea because I did one for Marvel Comics, DC Comics, I did one for anime, and I do have people that play video games, and there are video gamers that are like saying, "Hey, you did one for anime, you did one for Marvel Comics, DC Comics. Why don't you actually do one for video games?" And it takes a while to put a list together and make sure the video is very well put together. So if everything goes well and ends well, who knows? We can make a part 2 or a part 3 out of it. And it's going to lead to something bigger. So I do have my music series. I had to do some editing. I didn't like how it was, so I deleted it. And I'm going to redo the video over. Because I like to film my videos in actual locations where there's no distractions. I don't want, you to hear somebody in the background. We had somebody that dropped off a paycheck in the mail, and they kind of, you saw me move away, so I had to delete the video because that was a distraction. And when I do my videos, I want you to focus on the video, so that way, there ain't that many distractions. All right, the title of the video is going to be called Sex Game Hot, Sexy, Bad Girls of Video Games. Now, this right here is going to be abbreviated. It's going to be for women, for men, and I'm also going to put nerds. I'm going to put women that are nerds and geeks too, so that way nobody is completely confused. So it doesn't matter if you're a nerd or a geek or a video gamer or not. I'm going to let you know who the video's for. So it's pretty much open if you are at mature age. Just so you know, if you're mature age, you're okay. If you're 18 to 25, if you're 35, 45, you're okay. Just remember to be appropriate age. I do not want you two to come to my channel and go, "Hey, I thought we told you to set the audience. Is it for kids or not for kids?" And I think 85 to 90% of the time, my content's not for kids. I don't want you guys to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want nobody to get in trouble because YouTube does watch everybody's YouTube videos in the algorithm, and if they find out you're going against community guidelines, you know how that works, right? You get 4 strikes, your channel gets deleted, your videos get deleted, and it could take almost 6 months to a year, some cases 2 years, to pick up back where you left off. Because there are some channels that are just getting deleted left and right because they don't want to follow community guidelines. 1 minute somebody click on a video, then the video don't work. So there's that issue. So to be safe, make sure you're the appropriate age, because it's my job to look at my analytics to make sure you're 18 to 24 or 25 to 35. That way, nobody gets confused on what the video content is for. So I don't want you to, be watching my video and then your little brother come in the room and then you get a 2 or 3 hour lecture because you're watching my cool videos. I don't want you guys to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want no one to get in trouble. So let's have fun. Let's make the most of 2020. We're almost at the end of the finish line. This year's almost over. Can't wait for 2021. I know how y'all feel. Coming in at number 9 is Cammy. Now, Cammy is a beloved character from the Street Fighter video games, the comic books, the graphic novels, and the Street Fighter animated movie. Now, she is a cross between a female ninja and a badass, sexy woman. Now, you do know she's from Sweden, where if you watch the 1994 classic live-action movie Street Fighter, they actually made Cammy a good girl, where her character bears strong semblance to Natasha Romanoff, aka the Black Widow. Everything that Black Widow does in the Marvel movies, Cammy does the same thing. And to me, it would have been nice if her character could have had a full detailed story. Like, we know she's like in second in command next to Guile, and the actress who played her looked like the girl from the video game. But what makes her a bad girl is that she has the ability to blend into virtually any environment. Like, she can be this nice, innocent girl, and then in the blink of an eye, knock you out unconscious or break your arm or break your leg and show you that she's serious. And she's by far one of the most playable characters in the Street Fighter video game. Besides guys playing with Chun-Li, there's Cammy. And Cammy's one of those beloved characters. I don't care if you played Street Fighter. There's like a total of 12 to 13 video games of Street Fighter in almost 20 years. And almost 90% of the time, men and women play with Cammy, and she's a beloved character. And it would be a shame not to have Cammy on this list. She got them sexy long legs, the ponytail, the sexy accent. And sometimes when I was in college, I used to meet women from foreign countries, whether they were from Sweden, Brazil, whether they were from Australia. And sometimes I would have that moment like all you guys have. I would fantasize that the girl was Cammy. Like there was this one girl that was 5'11", 6 feet tall, with them sexy long legs and long blonde hair, but she did not have blue eyes. She actually had hazel eyes, which was very rare, and she had the accent. And I remember one time my best friend took out a picture of Cammy from Street Fighter and gave it to her, and the girl was confused, like, what is this? Oh, you look like that girl Cammy from Street Fighter. And she was like, what is that, a kid's game? And she started laughing like, I don't understand. And the guy was like, you're hot. You look like the character from the video game. Like, it took her like almost 4 months in the semester to understand where my best friend was coming from. I mean, of course, he got rejected 3 times because he was trying to get the phone number. But every time I meet a girl that has a sexy accent, I always think of that character Cammy from Street Fighter. Every man who's graduated from high school, college, or at work, when you take a hot woman out to lunch and dinner, you always think of a woman from a television show, a movie. In this case, you could say video games and anime. Women do the same thing. Women fantasize about rock stars, basketball, and football players. Us men, we sometimes fantasize about characters that don't even exist in the real world. And sometimes my mom would just shake her head like, okay, Alex, it's a video game. It's not real. And I go, but she's 5'10", she's 6 feet tall, she's hot. So sometimes I might see a white girl that's physically sexually attractive with them sexy long legs, that's 6 feet tall, have a ponytail, and look like the character from the video game. So yeah, I gotta put that on the list. Coming in at number 8 is Trish. Trish from the popular video game of the mid 2000s, Devil May Cry. That first Devil May Cry was a success because most guys had a crush on a character where she had the blonde hair and a ponytail. She had the sassy attitude, and she was dressed in all black. And guys was mad that she was not a playable character in Devil May Cry. Even when they made Devil May Cry 2, it wasn't until like the 3rd or the 4th Devil May Cry from Capcom that they actually made Trish a playable character. It was nice to see that there was like a female that could match everything that Dante does. Like Dante fights demons, vampires, and werewolves. Trish fights vampires, demons, and werewolves. And what was good about that was you could relate to her story. So a lot of guys liked the character, so when they got to the 3rd or the 4th video game, they decided to make her a playable character. And then at cosplay, because I know a lot of you guys go to the comic book conventions like WonderCon, the Legendary Comic Con. Don't worry, next year we'll have Comic Con. I promise you guys, we will have Comic Con like we're supposed to. And a lot of girls would dress up as their favorite female characters, whether it was Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and video games and anime. And one of those characters was Trish. And to me, Trish can be anyone. Trish could be a black girl, a white girl, an Asian girl, a Latina girl, sexy mamacita. She could be tall, short, BBW, black or white, young or older. And it don't matter who Trish could be. And if they were to make a live-action Devil May Cry movie, I don't care if you made Devil May Cry a movie or a television show, you could get any actress to come in and play Trish from the video games. I don't think nobody will have an issue with it. I mean, the character is very good in comparison to other characters that we've seen. Coming in at number 7 is Anna Williams from Tekken. You didn't think I was going to just not mention Tekken, did you? Back in the 1990s and 2000s, Anna Williams was the younger sister of Nita Williams from Tekken. You know, she was in Tekken 1, Tekken 2, character went missing, didn't show up until Tekken 4 and 5, popped up in Tekken 6, and popped up in 2 animated movies. Now, what makes her character a sexy bad girl is that she does everything that bad girls do. Like, she's unpredictable, she breaks the rules, follow her own rules, and she can do martial arts, and she has an accent. And what makes her so cold and calculating is that it doesn't matter who you are, she'll find out what your weaknesses are and exploit it. And she became a popular video game character because she was essential to those two video games, Tekken 1 and Tekken 2. Or if you watch the animated movie interpretation of that, yeah, in the first one they had a dinosaur, which sucked. Then the second one, her character was a better interpretation of her character. The rivalry between two sisters. After all, who did Nita Williams remind us of? She reminds us of Gamora, and Anna Williams remind us of what? Nebula. If you watch Guardians of Galaxy Volume 1 and 2, there's that sister dynamics, that one sister's better than the other, and that sister's jealous and resentful. And you could actually relate to that, because in real life, guys actually will by accident find out that a girl has a sister, and you can relate to that. You meet a girl at work or at the gym or at the bar and find out she got a sister, then all of a sudden, you know, the fight between two girls. You stole my boyfriend. You stole my man. And they took some of that concept and put it into the video game where it was two girls fighting for father's attention. So you can kind of relate from that sense of the video game. Coming in at number 6 is Nina Williams. Now, she was by far the most physically, sexually attractive character in Tekken. What's good about her character is that her character got to be in a lot of movies and television shows. I told my friend this like about 12 years ago, that if you look at all the characters of Tekken, they're actually based on some real life people and movies and television shows. Like Martial Law and Forest Law is Bruce Lee. The guy who looked like Blade from the movie Blade is technically Blade. And if you look at Nita Williams, she looks like Navin Nikita. Think about it. The martial arts training, speaking multiple languages, working for the U.S. government. Like Navin Nikita, if you watch any interpretation of Navin Nikita, that's technically Nia Williams from Tekken. You know, and she was one of those bad girls that they told you when you were in school, stay away from her, and you got told like 10 to 11 times, but she's hot, that nice athletic body, and you be looking at that ass, and that's what get a lot of us into trouble, right, men? Like, a lot of us got into trouble when we be looking at that ass, you know, and you get pulled into the H&R's office, or you almost got hit by a car or by a truck because you be looking at that ass, and you get some old man that look at you and be like, stop looking at that ass, and you would have not got hit or almost got hit by a car or a truck. So we can relate to the attraction. Like, there's something about bad girls that makes us find them more fun, more entertaining, and more interesting. Whereas if it's a good girl, we usually go like that Homer Simpson episode from The Simpsons. Every time we see a good girl, we always do the Homer Simpson. Boring. You've seen The Simpsons. I know all of y'all have seen The Simpsons, where Homer Simpson be like, boring, boring. That's what we think of the good girl, right? And the bad girl is fun, 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 fun. You know, the reason why we like the bad girl is because she's unpredictable, she's mysterious, she thinks outside the box, she seems to have all the ideas, and sometimes when we get in trouble, we take the fall for the bad girl. Some of you men don't want to admit it, but when you was at work or at school, there was some super hot, physically, sexually attractive girl that you felt for, and whenever you got in trouble, you took the fall for it, and your best friend looked at you like, dude, you're so stupid. We all can relate to it. That's why we like the bad girls. I don't care if you're at work, college, the nightclub, the bar, the gym. You be seeing this one fine girl, and you get told by everybody, don't do it, and you ignore it and do it anyway. And then you say, well, she fine, she good looking. And then the old man be looking at you like, one day you'll understand. And it don't matter if you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s, bad girls have the most fun. I mean, this is going to lead to an actual YouTube video called Sex Game, Bad Girls, or Freaks in the Bedroom. But that is that's for a mature audience. And I might wait until Sunday. But she got her own video game. That's how popular the female character was. And people didn't care if this was a bad girl. Normally, if it's a character like Chun-Li from Street Fighter, you most definitely would say she get her own video game. But this was a villain, and she got her own video game. And the video game sold out almost 100 million copies because everybody had to get a video game spinoff of a character that came from Tekken. Now, even though the video game wasn't that good, it sold well. Just imagine if Nita Williams could have got a live-action movie or television show because of that popularity. Like, that's the first time I ever seen a female character that was a bad girl that everyone had to buy the video game. Girls in high school were getting jealous because girls in high school and college were getting jealous because their boyfriend was spending way too much time on a video game character that wasn't a real person. And I was in that time frame where guys were getting into arguments with their girlfriends because they were actually fantasizing about a character that wasn't real. That costed some guys their relationship. And that was a video game character. Just imagine if Nita Williams was actually a real person. She would probably look like Scarlett Johansson, a.k.a. Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow. And what was so funny is women started buying the video game once they made her into one of those strong, powerful female characters. That's what kicked off the women can be badasses and superheroes and kick ass talk. And I have no problem with that, because if you look in the 80s, there was Terminator, and Terminator, the main character was a woman. Aliens, the main character was a woman. So yeah, coming in at number 5 is Jade from Mortal Kombat. If there's only 2 reasons why I like the color green, is because of Jade. I mean, she was like, what if Reptile was a woman, very physically, sexually attractive, strong, powerful, still could retain her beauty, and kick your ass. And I used to play with the character of Jade all the time in Mortal Kombat. And people was like, but she's a bad girl. And I like bad girls, okay? Like, that's probably why I got into a lot of trouble in high school and in college. Because I always kept going after the bad girl. It didn't matter if the bad girl was black, white, Latina, Asian. She could be tall, short, BBW. BBW, always keep falling for the bad girl. And Jade was one of these villains in Mortal Kombat. And I like green because of Money's green. And then, of course, I liked it Jade because her color was green. Those were the 2 reasons why I liked the color green. And she popped up in Mortal Kombat, the movie, the second movie, the TV show. But her character was like a female version of Reptile. So that's what I liked about her character. It's too bad that her character never got exploited, because there was something there with the character Jade. Like, there was potential for her character to fight Liu Kang. You know, you could have made it where she knows something about his past and future, because she has other powers and abilities that could have been exploited in the movie. Where in the Mortal Kombat television show, they actually gave us a story synopsis of her. Coming in at number 4 is Mlieena for Mortal Kombat. Now, she's in all purple. She is the cloned version of Princess Katana, who has genetic enhanced abilities, and basically she's like the complete opposite, where Princess Katana's nice and nurturing and carefree. Mliena's a very, very aggressive, very assertive, and not afraid to speak her mind. And some men actually like women that are very aggressive and assertive. Some men like it, some men don't like it. Some men find it very physically, sexually attractive. Some men do not find it physically, sexually attractive. I'm one of those guys that actually likes a woman who stands up for herself and opens her mouth and tells you what she likes and what she don't like and don't care if it hurts your feelings or not. I actually respect women a lot more if they tell me what's on their mind, good or bad, versus you get that girl that could tell you, but then, you got to find out from somebody else. And usually that's probably why some guys like the bad girl and not the good girl. Now, I'm not saying that's always true. So, ladies, please don't hit me with your car or truck, or do not use your magic powers on me. I'm just trying to explain the difference between two video game characters. I don't want no one to misconstrue what I say and take my words out of context. I'm trying to explain the difference between Mlieena and Princess Katana. Now, Princess Katana can be very ruthless if you push her in a self-defense. Mlieena can be very carefree and nurturing depending on who you are. And some guys play those characters, and that's probably why a lot of us got in trouble, because sometimes we keep imagining those characters in real life when we do martial art classes. I remember my sensei kicked out 3 guys out of karate class because they kept naming off characters from Mortal Kombat, and he didn't like that, so he wouldn't let them come to class for a week until they stopped doing it. Because to him, one of his rules was no fantasizing about stuff that's not real, because it messes up the workouts, you distract class, and then don't nobody want to focus and do the martial arts. Coming in at number 3 is Rose from Street Fighter. You cannot have a supernatural witch off this list. What I like about Rose is that she's that dark, mysterious girl that you meet in real life who can predict your future. Some men don't like people predicting their future. I actually like women who are very intelligent, think outside the box, and I like women who like to try new stuff. And Rose was a archetype character that if you saw Street Fighter Alpha, the animated movie, when she confronts the main character, which is Ryu, she basically tries to predict his future. And the fact that she was mysterious, like sometimes it's good not to know too much about a person, man or woman, because too much information might not be a good thing. Like just to know about 15, 20, 30, 40% is pretty good. Knowing too much information is not good. And you can have a lot of fun with someone as long as you don't try to ask too many questions, because sometimes people get irritated when you do that. And her character was good. The telekinesis, the telepathy, she could fly, she had magic, shape-shifting abilities, cosmic power, she could open dimensional doorways, and she could predict your future. And I feel like that if they were to make a live-action movie or television series of Street Fighter, why not have her as one of the main characters? I mean, I actually met a girl 2 years back at Top Shop Top, man, that kind of was like a character like Rose. She reminded me of another character from the originals. But my point is, she was good at reading people's zodiac signs. And I do like girls who can tell me what my zodiac sign is. That actually impresses me. Women that are into anime, video games, reading books, but telling me what my zodiac sign is, that will make me really be impressed. Like, not too many people can tell me what my zodiac sign is. And when I get a girl that tells me what my zodiac sign is, it don't matter if she black, white, Latina, Asian, Indian, tall or short, black or white, young or old. She could be BBW. If she can tell me my zodiac sign, that'll be like one of those things where, like, okay, you just earned yourself a free book, or I'll buy you a book. Most guys go buy a girl a drink. I probably buy a girl a book. Some people might find that a bit out of nowhere, but I'm just telling you. Coming in at number 2 is Naomi Hunter from Metal Gear Solid. Because I know some people are going to say is, what about Metal Gear Solid? Well, she's one of those other, she's like, what if you took 50% of Felicia Hardy Black Cat, 50% of Selena Kyle, and you put the two characters together, and what do you get? You get Naomi Hunter. Now, she is like a genetic enhanced female super soldier who pretends to be the good girl, but you know that she's bad, and when it becomes public knowledge, 2 things happen. Most men run away and hide, or get very happy and excited that they saw the person's true colors. And her character is so strong and powerful that she's an equal to the main character, who's Snake, obviously. And when she was supposed to, you know, take out the good guy, she didn't do it because she found him physically sexually attractive, and he found her physically sexually attractive. And sometimes we as men and women feel that way. Like, the video game actually took some real life aspects and portrayed them in the video game, that some men and women